Sleepers Got Talent finals review for Eli Grasham. Howdy doody, folks. That was an Eliism. Howdy doody one day. Carter Elliott is on the road right now. If you are unfamiliar and confused on what's going on, it's Sleepers Got Talent finals week. We have three finalists. We had Booby on Monday take control of all Sleepers Media social accounts. Eli on Tuesday took control of all social accounts. Today, Wednesday, Wink is our final finalist, and he's going to control all the Sleeper social accounts. After that, we'll deliberate, and by Friday, we will announce the winner of Sleepers Got Talent, who wins a $500 prize and a month guaranteed working with our team. Eli did a lot of things yesterday, a lot of promotional content. Really seemed like he focused on promoting the Sleepers podcast, Sleepers shorts, everything on the YouTube channel was getting a lot of coverage and a lot of love in graphic and video form from Eli. Card is out today. He's not working, but he wanted to make sure that he was here. That's why he's on the road. So, Carlos, throw it to you first. Give your thoughts on Eli's performance running our socials yesterday.
So first things first, I'm all about safety, so my eyes will not be meeting the camera whatsoever. So if I see or hear about y'all making any faces and or I don't know mannerisms that are insulting to me, I'm not going to see them. So just let that be known. Um, One of the points I thought you brought up that I thought Eli did a really good job on, and this is not a slight to Booby. This is just kind of in comparison what I saw. Booby did a lot of graphics. He did a lot of engagement. He did all of that. Nothing really like specifically drove it back to like the specific segment or back to our YouTube page or something like that. I feel like Eli did a really good job of that. I also really enjoyed the poll he did at the end of the day. I did feel like it got everybody involved. Seemed to got some good engagement. When I put that up against what Booby did with the trivia, for lack of a better term, pause, was much more impressed with the poll. Polls, I might say. Also, if we're doing, a little bit of a social media breakdown, I guess, for every platform, Eli did his best on TikTok, I would say. One of the TikToks he posted about Purdue got a lot of engagement, a lot of comments, a lot of likes. I believe it's at 10,000 views. That's probably the most viewed TikTok we've had in a long time, outside of Greg eating nuggets or something like that. So, yeah, I thought some good stuff from Eli. Not flashy, but I think very, very solid for the most part.
What do you mean by not flashy?
I'm trying to like make a basketball to basketball like comparison here. Like I feel like Booby's got that, for lack of a better term, young dickhead energy that came across through his graphics. I feel like Eli's more like grab my lunch pail. You know what I'm saying? First guy in, last guy out. Very solid. Can't be like the star necessarily on a team, but man, what a fourth option. You know what I'm saying?
Can I make the comp for you? I think I got it.
Please.
I think Booby's Khalil Ware, and I think Eli's Trey Kaufman-Renn.
Well, can it be someone else besides TKR?
I don't think there's a better comp for it.
Okay, that feels about right.
You're gonna have to come to terms with that because I know you're not a TKR guy. Excuse me, I almost called Dion Eli. Dion, do you have any thoughts to add to all of this?
I just want to make a Booby. I do have some thoughts on it, but first I want to make a Booby comparison. To me, he's Tyler Hero.
Okay.
We have no idea what we're going to get from him. No idea. It might be an all-star season. It might be, wow, this was really bad, Booby. We don't know if you're going to be on the roster next year. Like Tyler Hero's had all of those in the NBA already, and now he's getting a max contract, by the way.
Okay. All right. Fair. So that doesn't seem like it was necessarily a slight against Booby. At first, I was like, that doesn't seem very complimentary. Do you have a comp for Eli then, Dion?
Eli to me is like Duncan Robinson. You know exactly what you're going to get. It's very productive, $50 million basketball player constantly, maybe even close to 100 million at one point. Gonna shoot the three ball, it's going to go in, but it's also not going to like super, super wow you. And that was kind of what I think was the difference between the 2 days. I think I actually enjoyed a little bit more of the content that Eli posted, but it didn't pop off the screen to me. So I don't think I noticed it in the way that I noticed some of Booby's graphics or edits or videos.
Okay, that's fair. Yeah, I think anyone, including Eli, anyone would just point and be like, looking at the 2 days, like Booby is more, he's a graphic designer, right? I know this, I'm not a graphic designer, and I've worked jobs where I need to design graphics. I have had to tell my bosses before, I am not a graphic designer. I can't do that. There are certain things that you can or cannot do. Look, I thought I saw a lot of great things from Eli. Overall, I thought it was a very, very good day from Eli. And I almost don't like that we're making this like, let's talk about Eli's day, all about Booby. I know it's hard not to. Like, it was automatically going to happen. We need to compare these people together. That's what the final round is. But I'm going to try and focus just solely on what Eli did here because I thought standing alone, he had a really, really good day. The primary direction here was to promote Sleepers segments, whether that's the podcast or the show. And Eli absolutely has done that better than anyone else in the competition, I think, at all points of this competition. He gets that. There's not going to need to be a learning curve on like, this is what we want to do day to day if we are working with Eli. I look at the graphics he put together. I actually like the way a lot of them looked. I thought the graphic that he put together, the one player that Sleepers would add to these teams, overall was laid out really nicely and looked good. Small minor bit of feedback for Eli on if he does that again in the future. Some of the players you put in here just like kind of have their arms cut off, not exactly perfectly, I don't know, not perfectly laid out that looks natural. So, but that's something graphic designers would notice, non-graphic designers would not. I think that's something we would run into if Eli was making graphics for us every single day. Card, to your point, the video he made with it was basically a clip of me and Dion on the full episode talking about Purdue, and we were doing the worst case scenario. I found this to be a really interesting choice because when he first posted it and I watched it, I was like, man, this is not a clip we necessarily want out there. It's negative. It's going to get Purdue fans riled up in an angry way. And it actually didn't. Like looking back at it later, there was a lot of Purdue fans actually responding to like one or two negative comments, being like, dude, how soft can you be? These guys love Purdue. They literally said it in the video. So, Eli is a Purdue fan. Maybe that was part of it. He kind of leaned into some Purdue heavy angles. He knows that that plays well from engagement. But I thought logistically the video he made looked really good. I liked the captioning. I liked he had a couple transitions in there that looked good. And as you mentioned, Cart, it was the best performing video posted. It outperformed everything on TikTok that we've seen this week. It outperformed everything on Reels that we've seen this week. So I think we have to take that into consideration, even if it doesn't feel as poppy or flashy or whatever. Whatever he made outperformed the others in terms of just raw engagement thus far. So I don't know. All in all, I thought it was a productive day. I think Eli would do exactly what he did yesterday if he becomes the person that's going to do this role. And I don't think we would give him much changes. Like we might be able to provide him with some templates that we like that look a little better. But outside of that, I think he's going to give us some original ideas that are always rooted in promoting what's on the YouTube channel that day. And we haven't seen Wink yet, but that was a very different approach than our Boobies day on first day. And ultimately, I think we need to decide, is that what we are after? I will say, again, that was kind of the direction here. Going into the finals, it was do that. And I do feel like that resonated the most so far with Eli.
He also edited himself into a picture of Gandhi. I loved that. I loved that. To end the day and it's just your face on Gandhi's body, special. I love that move.
Yeah, Cart, any last thoughts? He did the photo on Gandhi as his sign off at the end of the day. I loved that as well. I thought that was quirky and funny. Look, the reality is part of the appeal, I think, of bringing in Eli is I do think he's the most fun character. I mean, we saw this with Booby too. Booby did a couple things on his day that involved him, right? We wanted that. We didn't want it to be all day. We're not looking for an on-camera hire necessarily. But if you work with us, people are going to know who you are, and we got to figure out how you play. I'll be honest, I don't think Booby played all that well on camera in the video he did with Riley. I think Eli plays really well on camera in a fun way. So I would almost even argue he might have been better served to try something really original on camera, because I think that is one thing I would say maybe the other two finalists don't necessarily have, is like a quirky, fun entertainment nature on camera. And we saw that kind of in the last post of the day, like you said, Dion, just like, bye bye, I'm Gandhi. But I don't, I joked about this in a private group chat cart. I was wondering if we were going to get a musical number from Eli, and I thought it would have been high risk, high reward. But, he kind of played it very straight and narrow for his final submission. Did that leave you wanting it all, Cart? Any thoughts on that?
Yeah, because like when you look at, you know, Eli the personality, it's kind of like people want to know about Eli. Like I had people in my family, like I have my sister-in-law literally messaged me on IG and she's like, I'm just so intrigued by like what Eli story is. And she doesn't even watch sports like that. She was just invested in Eli the person and how he was gonna approach this. I do think he could have shown a little bit of his personality. And to your point, I do think like as far as like on camera stuff, I think Eli would have a very, very clear advantage over, let's just say, Boo, because he's done it so far. Now, Wink has, done some video stuff himself. So very interested to see what he does today. But yeah, I think it would have been like we could have got a Gandhi musical number to end his day, and it would have been special. And we always come on here and say context clues. For people that watch Sleepers, like we are musical. Greg asked to get musical all the time. I feel like that's
Yeah.
R.I.P. not R.I.P. but rest in competition to Vinay. He was very much tapped in with Sleepers and like what went on in every episode, and tried to pander to that. I feel like getting musical would have been a great way to not only show Eli the personality, but also like that's kind of what we do at Sleepers. You know what I'm saying? Like, how has no one dropped? This isn't a math podcast yet. That's insane to me.
Yeah, I don't know why, but in my gut, I was kind of waiting for like Eli's big swing. And I think he had a lot of great promotions tactically. It was very by the book. It was what we asked for. It looked good. I think probably his biggest swing was the buy or sell thing with the polls. And that was a hit, as you mentioned, Card. I thought that was really smart. It was something we've never done, a unique idea. The graphic he put out with it looked good at the end. But yeah, maybe just a minor missed opportunity for me, given that Eli's personality is something that's so gravitating for people that really after his day was done, I think he did like a reaction on his own channel of like, this is how it went. I thought he could have maybe took a swing in the middle of the day and done something really original and seen how it played. But in the end, I think he also knows, he's probably heard us say, we're not hiring for an on camera person. So can't be too mad at him for playing it by the book. All in all, another really great day of content. I think these past 2 days are probably the best 2 days content wise we've ever had on social.
Oh no, they 100% are. I had people ask me why social's so active, and I'm like, yeah, because this is going on.
Yeah. All in all, this is one of the better things we've ever attempted to do. So you're welcome, guys.
Yeah.
All right. Thank you, Eli. One more day of Sleepers Got Talent.
That
Wink.
that wasn't the outro.
I did too. I thought that was the outro too.
Well, just you got to tease it,
I
right?
thought that was the outro.
Wink is on Wednesday, everyone. Tristan Winkleman, the final finalist. He gets our socials, Instagram, TikTok, and Twitter all day today. Go check it out. Stay tapped in, interact. Let us know who your favorite is. We'll announce the winner by the end of the week. Drive safe, Card.